Good. All glory to Big G. I'm here another day to with my brothers, my brethren. Silk, how's it going, Core?
And vibing, man. First of all, man, welcome Dre to like the show, the platform. We two familiar faces when it pertains to Cup, man. Dre's long time friend of Trey's. I've known him for a minute because they've been friends for a little minute, man. But we've been meaning to link and connect, man. How you been? You good?
Yeah, good, good. Can't complain. Doing well, blessed, and yeah, ready to do this thing, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. We hanging out, man. But we missed last week. Well, I missed last week. Them brothers went. Sorry for that exit. We want to be here on a weekly basis. Provide some woke Wednesday conversation. We just like to keep it just authentic, chill, pure. Just let the conversations flow. We don't really have no bullet point, agenda or anything we like to get to, man. But how's the weekend been for y'all? Summer. How's summer been cooking?
That big cooking, ain't it? It's going by. It's going by fast, boy. It's sauteing out here. I got
Yeah.
a little echo on my end. I don't know if y'all hear it on y'all side. Maybe not, but the
Yeah,
summer is feel like.
you're a little low in this. I hear like
Hmm.
a faint echo. I don't know what's going on with the audio, but yeah, summer is definitely hot, man. We got a little mixture. Ain't been a little drought down here though, and that's usually scary for like hurricane season when we get like
Hmm.
a spring drought, summer drought. That water, that ocean be out there boiling a little bit like a crock pot. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's been a rainy day today, a hot summer. Kids keeping me busy. Um, my son,
Mm.
bro, he had me out there fishing like 4 or 5 hours on Saturday, and bro, I told him, I said, dog, I ain't catch nothing but a heat stroke. It's time to go. It's time to take it to the AC, bro. I ain't catching anything. I ain't even getting a bite, bro.
Mm.
Um, but kids keeping you busy, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely. I got a 5 and a 7 year old, so I call them the hurricane and the tornado, man. They are outside from the moment they can get out, and I gotta drag them in, and they're crying, wanting to go back out, and I'm just like, man, it's too
Tearing
hot
up
for that,
everything.
man. I'm telling you, it's bad when they're outside. They come in and they still on 100, so it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Man, I remember them days like as a kid, you be outside all day and you just come in just rummaging, just tearing everything up. Not tearing everything up, but just looking back at it as a parent now and then how I was as a kid, you like, golly,
Mm.
boy, we was a lot, you know. But
Oh yeah,
they definitely had a
definitely.
lot of patience dealing with us as kids.
Oh yeah, especially when it was more than one. Gosh. Mm-mm-mm.
At that close
Tough,
in
man.
age, too, 5 and 7, they
Telling
Oh
you,
man, it's
feeding
about to
off each
be.
other.
But when they hit that 9/11, boy, you gonna need drywall patch, like all that stuff, boy. Me and him was a year apart, but we used to tear the crib up, boy.
Mm.
we used to have wrestling matches, all types of wild stuff.
Yeah, it used to go down, boy.
Man, they doing it now. I got holes in places I didn't even know. I'm discovering stuff. I'm like, man,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man.
How do
Mm.
you how do y'all manage that? As I was wondering, I had that on my mind. Like, how do y'all you know like boost your kids like confidence? I don't know if y'all ever experienced where your kids like lacking confidence in anything, but um, it's the summer you out for school, and that's like one thing that I did want to work on with my youngest, was just like boosting like that little self esteem, confidence going into the new year, and we just like trying different things out. But I just want to ask you brothers how y'all manage that.
Mm. So I mean, for me, we got like a 3 tier system. We make sure that in the mornings they doing schoolwork. They got some form of schoolwork. My wife is an educator, so she printed out like 3,000 pages of all types of stuff, math, reading comprehension, spelling, like, so she's on it when it comes to that. And they do that in the mornings. We give them time to play, and in the afternoons I kind of get them outside and get them in the gym, work with them in the gym, and just read, man, and reinforcing. Hey, you strong mentally. You're strong. You're working out. Or physically you're strong. You're working out. Mentally you're strong. You're doing work now, while your friends are probably playing. You're studying. You're getting smarter. So just trying to keep reinforcing, every day you're working at something, and sooner or later that's gonna pay off.
I must admit, like out of all you two brothers, got to be had the most fittest kids in the world. Cause the way like you work out your kids and the way bro work out, my nephew, boy, I was like, boy, them boys is added.
No, it's great for their confidence though, bro.
Mhm.
Like one of the things that just help with confidence in every aspect, like, I don't care if it's a child, adult, is just being prepared. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like preparedness, like knowing that you walking into life, like giving them the knowledge, like they feel strong. If a boy feel weak, he ain't gonna be confident. He get like exude fake confidence, be loud, do
Mm.
things that like distract. But if you're strong, and like he said, embedding the reassurance of like you smart, you handsome, like giving them the affirmations and stuff like that. But for me, man, like even in work, like I feel more confident when I'm prepared for a meeting. If I go into a meeting I haven't really prepared for it, I could fake confidence, but in my back of my mind, I ain't really prepared for every angle this conversation may go. So like I just try to prepare this man for, life. So when he walk out into this world, same thing with my daughter. Even in the dating phase, when she going to date a boy, like to be confident, to hold her own, and don't feel pressured into anything. But that's just preparing them as a dad.
Mm.
Like this is what to expect from a boy or in these different situations in life. So I just think being prepared just increases their confidence more than anything, man. But I'm with you, man. I push a lot of the working out and training on social media, but yeah, we
Mm.
wake up every morning, we read. I got this little book of stoicism, and it just teach a lot
Mm.
of like life principles, and it's Greek philosophy. So just trying to just instill in like a different perspective and unique, like you said, give them that advantage. Most kids ain't doing that, so
Mm-mm.
it just gives them a little edge.
No,
Definitely.
yeah, I agree 1,000. Like preparation is peace. I was thinking, like my kids are like it's funny, like they're just night and day. They're just different. Like with my oldest, that was the thing that we basketball, sports. I had them both in like jujitsu and kickboxing, but it was just that's just not her jam. So it's just like finding like what is that, and then what's cool is like we talk through it, so it's not something that like she you know lacks, or it's something that
Mm.
she it's something that she wants. It's not something that we're pushing on her. Um, but just trying to like find unique ways of discovering that. I think is where we at.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean that's
Got
important
to.
too. Yeah, let them be. I didn't push my daughter. I tried when she was young. I tried to put her in tennis. I was a big Serena fan, so I'm trying to get her into tennis, man. She wasn't really feeling it, bro. I think the individual sports knocked that out of sports altogether. She was just, all right, I'm cool with it, man. Like she didn't
Mm.
even want to try team sports. She did cheer and dance. That was her thing. But yeah, you gotta let them do. You can't force them, especially the girl. It's hard to force a girl to do something. Like my
Yeah.
son say he
Mm.
wanted to quit ball. I'd probably be like, nah, bro, you you gonna
You
you started this, we about to finish this. But it's different with
gotta finish
girls.
that
You about
one.
to get this NIL, boy. That bag looking good.
Mm.
I just teach. I think sports just teaches you a don't quit mentality, bro. Like when they say ball is life, it really is, bro. Like athletes,
Mm.
it really teaches you resilience. Even if you're in a losing season, like we had them in high school, Trey, you still had to fight all the way through that losing season. It was grueling,
Mm.
and then you seen the team get better. So it just teaches that like life things gonna get tough, and it teaches
Mhm.
you not to quit. And so life, I think ball definitely, man, teaches and instills great value. So that's why I won't let him quit. Like he ain't got to go to the NFL or nothing crazy. It's just If you started this journey, finish it. That's it.
Mm,
Yeah, I think that
yeah.
I think communication and talking to them too is like vitally important. Um, Especially like you just never know like with this era and these kids like what's going through on in their heads because of they do have access to a lot of information and whatnot, and also like outside influences. So you gotta check in with them daily and see where they at, where their headspace is.
Mm,
But
yeah, and with mine. Oh, go ahead, Trey.
no, go ahead. And I was gonna say that too. I was gonna ask you that. Your kids are very young, but I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing what Corey said with sports. I'm a little, they're going to get in sports, but I want to be their first coach. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I want to give it to them as raw as they going to ever get it. So when they
Right.
do get in that situation, they understand what it means and they're not fearful of going out and giving 110%. So yeah, I'm big on team sports. I just gotta figure out how to push them into it. Cause yeah, after this year, they gonna be playing some ball somewhere. But I definitely wanted to assume that position first, so that when they got into it, that environment, you know, yeah, they kind of understand. Yeah, dad was just like this. This is what it means to excel, and have a lot demanded from you. So
Nah, that's
yeah.
dope, man. I did the same thing. So I didn't put my son into football for a while, and everybody thought because I followed like the content, I'm a football fanatic, but I kept him away from it as long as I could. By the time he
Mm,
got in middle school, then he played flag, but I was keeping him away from tackle for, of course, body, brain, all that type of stuff. Also, like I don't want it to have anything to do with me. But once he got
mm,
like his South Florida, so fifth, sixth grade, everybody playing ball, and then he coming home like, "Hey, Dad, I gotta go. I gotta put these toys
mm,
on." Like they want to get, he want to get the pads and get into contact. But
mm.
I trained him myself. Like Trey, he's seen a couple of them, but I push him hard. And then when he started playing, bro, like from that standpoint, like of training, working out, like that part's easy for him. Like when it's
Easy.
time to do
Mm,
wind sprints, he cooking everybody. And
mm,
I'm telling him that now, like he's just now starting to hit the weights hard, like in December. Now in the summer, we're going super hard on it. But I was telling him, I was like, bro, like the average kid ain't lifting weights. And when you hit like ninth grade, that's the first. Before you go play any ball, y'all gonna work out that summer. And who's impressive in that weight room is gonna give you that edge. The coach is gonna spot
exactly.
who's already been, physically hitting weights, got that type of dedication. So like you just getting a jump on it, man.
Mm,
And it's just like you said, you got to be that first coach. I don't want to be the regular coach. This year I'm gonna have to, but I try to stay away from. I try to let somebody else coach him because my dad was my coach, bro. It was rough.
Oh
it
yeah.
was rough.
Well,
Yeah.
he said we was rough. He said
Yeah,
we
I
was out
know.
there.
Like,
So
here's the thing. Like, he wasn't a bad coach. It's like when your dad the coach, he got to take other kids home when their
yeah.
parents don't show up.
Yeah.
Like you
Mm,
can't really slack. Like
mm,
you could cut back on some laps and shit like that here and there. If your dad ain't the coach, he ain't got his eye on you. But bro, I could never slack.
mm.
My dad tell me you better be
Nah.
in first. I'm like,
You
man,
better.
I gotta be in first. I gotta run more. But I get
Yeah.
it. But I wanted to just give him some space, man. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm,
I coach him so much, like alone, which is me and him. Like when he goes and play like for the leagues and stuff, I do the off season. I let the coaches do the season. That's how I run it.
I
Yeah.
like that.
No, it's
I
dope.
like that. Mm,
Speaking of like parents and errors and whatnot, I was listening to I think it was a Big Sean book, Go Higher, or maybe I saw it on a podcast or whatnot. But they was saying,
You say Big Sean?
yeah,
Okay.
he got a new book out, Go Higher, which is like a mental health book. It's pretty dope. Um,
mm,
but he was mentioning like it was things that like their parents like would say like will almost be like I guess like I was wondering like what in our era let's like similar in the sense to where like how like back in my days we did it this way, or don't listen to this music because it's hurting you, or like it was just certain things that I guess they said put them in a box, and it was like almost like um it made them, it stifled their creativity in a sense where it was like you not allowed to do certain things because of societal stigmas or whatever. I don't know if that makes sense or what how I'm trying to get to it, but I was wondering if there's any like warnings that like our parents gave us in our eras, and what's the types of warnings like do we see that we should give our kids in this era?
Mm,
I think the biggest warning on my end is just like social media. Just
mm,
we're the last generation. Like we the last ones that like social media came out when we was finishing high school, entering college. You start getting the MySpace and the Black Planet. So we're really the first, people to start, but we didn't have it and we had it. Our kids just don't know life without it. Right? They're born into social media apps. So we know what it was like before this shit hit. So I think that's my biggest warning of like telling my daughter, like, even from sense of direction standpoint, these kids use maps for everything. So I just try to warn them of technology, bro. Like, if these maps and stuff go down, can you find your way home from Miami?
Mm.
Like, if
mm,
technology breaks, like if you're in the car and we're driving and you staring at your phone the whole time and you don't have no sense of direction of where you at and you need a map, like these kids need those maps to just get around the
mm,
phone apps because
Oh,
they
definitely.
we didn't have that. Like, we got lost. We had to find our way home. Like, when we first moved to West Palm, Trey, remember when we like riding our bike, we got lost. And we had to figure it out. We just moved to a new city, bro. We don't know where we at. But we figured it out. These kids, like, just self-awareness, man. I think technology is the biggest, getting caught up in Instagram. It's a superficial world. It's an instant gratification world. So my biggest just warning sign is just, hey, don't get caught up in like technology and these social media apps.
mm. Yeah, I think for me, just growing up, I was raised in kind of like a hybrid situation. So my mom would be at work a lot, and she kind of put a lot on us to, being young, to do the right thing. So
Hmm.
her thing was always decision making, and luckily I was with some older guys, in the community or whatnot, and they always kind of looked after me and was like, "Yo, this is what you want to do," and they echoed the same sentiment: decision making, decision making, decision making. So I'm really big on that part of it. And even with my kids now, um, when they drop something or break something, I'm always kind of referring back to what decision did you make that created this outcome.
That's dope.
Where I
Self
gotta,
accountability.
there you go, right? Where now I gotta jack you up. Now your mom, your mom is barking on me. Like, how did we arrive to this point? And yeah, so with them it's decision making, and that's always been like a um real important part for me growing up, and just saying to myself, whenever I have kids, I gotta start them early on building a really solid decision making framework. No matter what the situation, circumstance that they're in, what decision are they gonna make? How are they gonna make sure that they make the right decision? And how they gonna make sure that it is mutually beneficial for everybody involved? Like,
Yep.
that's the biggest thing.
No,
One
that's
qu- one
fire,
thing that,
bro. I was
yeah,
just
mutually beneficial for everybody involved. One thing that
Yeah.
that stood out to me in that book was he mentioned like everyone in your environment is a reflection of you, whether good or bad.
Mm, mm,
Like how they say birds of a feather flock together or whatever. But he was just saying like everybody like, and we don't think about like the bad part of like why am I around like these bad environments, or we find ways to like um just make it acceptable, or accept them for who they are, but without no accountability. Like, nah, I shouldn't be in this type of circle, or I shouldn't be in these type of environments. Um,
Mm,
I think it's one thing that I do want to like hone in, like truly get to know like who you are before you get onto this world, and then also like the people that you bring into your life. Just be mindful
mm,
of what type of energies and what comes with that, and also
mm.
decision making and whatnot as well. That's
Yeah,
is
that's part
very
of
important.
decision making. Deciding who to be
Yeah.
around. Like, all that's
Mm,
decision making, bro. I was just talking to my
yeah.
wife about that same exact thing. Like we was talking about. Like I was telling her, just talking college. You got young girls in college and whatnot. So, I was telling her like the most successful people that's gonna lead these schools isn't gonna be who got the best degree. It's gonna be who make the best decisions.
Mm,
Like the best decision when it pertains to networking, who you meet, like how you use college. But it just comes down to decision making. Like the person that gets to 5.0 don't go to be Elon Musk or Bill Gates. They just made better decisions, and right business moves and right investments and right
mm,
marriages, right friendships, like it's just the right decisions. It just comes down to
yeah.
that.
Mm,
Damn.
yeah.
Hey man, it's a lot to unpack with that one. I think we can kind of go on and on, but
Yeah.
since we already you brought up the AI technology, social media, you sent that clip. Boy, I had to take a look at it. The future of the AI future prison.
Mm.
What was
Did
your
you did
take
you
on
did you
that,
see
Corey?
it?
Yeah, I did. There's a lot to. I want to hear what you. How do you find that? First of all, what?
I saw it on somebody commenting on it. Somebody did some content on Twitter, and it was what it's pretty much saying in the article is, so instead of you going to do 30 years in prison, what are they doing is cognitively simulating 30 years in your mind and kind of wiping your memory of like the trauma, bad things, whatever that got you into that situation. So you're really doing your prison sentence over, I would say, like an hour or something like that, instead of
Mm.
going to I think it could get creepy and weird and freaky playing around with the brain like that. But I think it's
Yeah.
interesting taking people out of bondage for 30 years and no real rehabilitation, because it's not really a correctional facility. They ain't correcting nothing. You leave
Mm.
out of there worse than you came in 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. I looked at I mean it kind of feels like Black Mirror a little
Yeah.
bit, one of them episodes. I think again it's a bunch of rich people, and the 1% that's really looking at the 99%, those who are going to commit crimes, and say, how do we fix this, and how do we kind of hijack the human consciousness as well? How do we roboticize these people to get them to fall in line? And it's two sides of the coin. You can look at it as a good thing, hey, I'm
Oh, it's
out
never.
shopping
They
with
ain't
my.
never offering good prison.
Hey, they definitely
Nah,
ain't doing that.
nah. I think
Hey,
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and let you finish your thought. But I think we kind of on the same page. I think they're rolling out the damn robots.
yeah, yeah. And the bad part of it is, it always starts off as an experiment in a prison. That's usually where they start off
They
with it.
already on. I'm sorry. I'm getting hyped.
Co- co-
I think they
yeah,
already done ran the pilot program.
yeah, yeah. And they just ready, waiting for a full rollout to the public in some shape, form, or fashion. So I don't trust rich people with unlimited resources and all this technology and stuff like that. If they're talking like that, I think it's they're close. They're
Yeah.
close to
Yeah.
they're really
Yeah.
putting this thing in play. So yeah, I don't trust it.
What are
Yeah, I
you
think
doing the trial mocks on? Like, you can't do
E-
these trials on
they
rats.
did it
Like,
on Gucci
how you
Man.
doing
exactly,
They did it
trial
on
mock?
Gucci Man.
exactly.
Remember, they said Gucci Man came out as a robot. Then they said,
Mm,
No, I really think there's some like truth to some of that. Like, I don't even
yeah,
think that's
gotta
the real
be.
Kanye. Like,
Yeah.
I think like
Ooh.
here's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say like that's a robot. What I think they can do is, bro, they can medically induce things like schizophrenia, bipolar,
Mm.
Mm,
all of that type
mm,
of stuff. Like that's been proven. Like the CIA, they've done that
Oh
to
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I think some of that's going on with some of these people like Kanye, the Gucci's. I don't think those are just conspiracies. I do think there's some weirdness going on in that behalf.
Yeah. I remember that movie Denzel played in years ago. Um, the Manchurian
Manchurian
Candidate.
Candidate.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
Yeah.
know, and every time I hear something like that, I think about that movie because if you think that stuff ain't going on, like
Oh,
that type of
100%.
technology at that time, regardless if it's for national security, whatever, the technology exists. It exists. So it's just
Here's
all
the
in how they
thing, bro.
deploy.
The same people that's like they be like, oh, why would the movie people? The same people that's running Hollywood running the government.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
So they can
Mm,
running
write
all.
movies about things that seem futuristic and just out of this realm when they already know
mm.
they ain't that creative. They know what's cooking a little bit behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
It's programming. Predictive
Right,
programming. Yeah.
right.
So they did a study in 2023, and it was like 77% with AI, because they talking about AI taking over like different jobs and industries or whatnot, and it was testing it out as being like lawyers, judges, and whatnot. But it was saying with the AI's algorithm and how it was doing it, 77% of the people that came back flag was black people as far as being high
I'm
risk
t-
or
you say 77% did what?
came back flagged to be like high risk rearrested was
Mm, mm. Hmm. So you think that might be like somebody inputting those statistics into the computer to make it spit out? I, I don't know. I mean, I get
no
it.
no
Yeah, it might be some
No,
truth to it,
it's truth to it, but
but
it's all systemic as well. Like
yeah
mm,
the rearrest, the regular arrest,
so
we're highly likely to get the first arrest more than
first
anybody
arrest,
arrest. So like,
definitely.
and then like leaving the prison system 9 times out of 10, like we're not coming home to like a support system to be able to survive. Coming home a felon and getting back on your feet, dealing with parole and all those different things that come along with it. So yeah, your circumstances, bro, you're cornered a little bit. So the same eight
Mm,
ball and starting on, with two strikes against you, now you really got the strike against you, as a black man. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's set up that way.
and
yeah.
Yeah.
that's what you were saying it's a database like stacked like that. So I did the pros and cons of that system. Well, like what are the pros and cons? And it came back with mostly cons. And it was saying that the database for that system is racially biased back into
Hmm.
uh, and also it was another con was saying it removes the human component. Like when you have a lot of these cases, when you're talking to another human, there may be some type of like compassion or like you can like hear a story
A
and
little
you
gray area.
yeah
Yeah.
Empathy.
yeah
Mm,
That's what AI is going to be missing. It's going to have like a lot of just knowledge and information, but robots don't have empathy.
and then it also
yeah.
said it could normalize mass incarceration.
Mm,
It's already normalized. Like
True.
mass incarceration, that shit is normalized. Like people look at
yeah.
this country and see the minority of this country is 85% of the prison base. Like common sense say something's not right here. The law stats say like this isn't normal and this is like, you know, an agenda. Like it's not
Oh
even a
yeah.
conspiracy. Like we shouldn't be 85% of the prison population. It's modern day slavery.
Yeah. And definitely over policing in urban areas as opposed to,
Then they gonna have
yeah.
the robot polices. They rolled out the robot dogs already.
Like it
I
gets
saw
deep,
that
man.
somewhere.
Like you were
Yeah.
talking about the programming, like even when you think about it to like I've been start watching like Cops, First 48. Like when
Mm.
you turn that stuff on, they never in those communities. They always in our communities, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like crime going down everywhere. Why are cops always in our neighborhood patrolling? And it's to normalize it too. So you get the
Mhm.
extreme. You see cops. Like when people see cops, you're in Japan and you watch cops, and they already hate us before they get here because
Yeah,
all
yeah.
they've seen is negative stereotypes about black people, whether it's rap music, cops, whatever it may be. They don't present us in a positive fashion. So it's all propaganda, to be real with you, bro. Like it starts with television, they normalize it, and
Mhm.
then they can treat us any type of way, and people be like, "Oh, they're just savages anyway."
Mhm.
Damn.
True.
So
It's
what do
giving
y'all
woke
boys do?
Wednesday for sure. What's up?
Yeah, this
Getting to
Yeah.
it.
y'all
What y'all
boys
thought
take
about
it.
this? I wanted to ask y'all, man.
Go
What y'all think about the this has been a like a heavy and I did not have this on the list, but the thing out in Houston I seen, I'm forgetting the brother name. Sauce Walker, whatever his name is, the N-word. There's been some debate about Mexicans using it and who can use it. What's
Oh, you
y'all
talking
uh,
about OT the Mexican, right?
yeah, I think it was Sauce Walker who I don't know, green lighted, but it was a conversation that he started. I forget, I think on the Say Cheese podcast or something like that. And they asked him about Hispanic brothers using the N word, and he said that they allow it because they're raised and live right beside Hispanic people. But the OT dude got on a podcast and was and I'm not even just talking about this situation, just in general, like what y'all feel about it. But the OT, the Mexican guy, got on a podcast and said like he'll say the N word anywhere. Like what anybody gonna do about it? Which changes the energy of the conversation. Like I ain't with it
mm,
regardless, but that when once you
yeah.
start like taunting and letting your testicles hang a little bit, like not ego involved, bro. It ain't just a word of endearment. Now you getting disrespectful, right?
There you go. Mhm.
What's y'all stance on the entire thing though?
Yeah, I'm not with it. I don't think anybody that's not of African descent should be saying it. And I understand it's the normal lingo for the youth and some of our peers, but if you ain't ready to take what society gonna give you, as somebody that is gonna say it, then you shouldn't be saying it. You shouldn't be
Facts.
saying it. That's my stance on it.
That's a whole
That's
bar right
facts.
there.
Mm,
I
That's
think it gets tricky because like in our era, you just couldn't say it like that. It was an immediate consequence to like
mm,
dudes getting it off. But I see young white boys be right with young black boys just letting it fly. And I just be like,
that's
dang,
crazy.
like they've
That's
normalized
crazy.
like that's where it gets a little creepy at because while I don't say the word right, and that's just personal preference, bro. I try to just spew out positive words as much as I can. Anything negative, I try to stay away from it. So I don't judge any other brother for using it, but I'm on that stance because I'm on the same stance. Like if you're a black man, you decide to use it in some empowering way, then power be to you. It's just a personal thing for me. But my thing is like how our young kids view it, they don't have the same type of passion culturally to like defend the word like that. So going forward in the future, like what does that word go? Because we can't control it, and I try to even teach my son, like you can't fight people for words. Now I have to teach them that because you can't be emotionally driven like that. So if we're giving them, awareness and consciousness on how to move and not to be emotionally driven by a word, because we used to be emotionally driven by that word and it's not there no more. So where does it go in the future?
Mm,
Because it's in rap, it's everywhere, and there's no other any other ethnic group nobody's fighting to use those words. It's only around our culture. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the
mm,
negative part of our culture to be something that's just everybody can just nobody's just gonna everybody gonna run around with Jew slurs,
mm,
Hispanic slurs. Like it's only our culture where everybody wanna say slurs around our culture.
mm.
that's a tricky bag. Not tricky, but tough bag when you're trying to like reinstill, you know, what made us like passionate about, you know, like where like the stuff that we experience in our lives. I think that's how it gets there's no real lessons being taught to our youth. I think when it pertains to history and like a lot of these stories get suppressed or like erased or not talked about. A lot of stories. It's not even just like dealing with that word, just like in general. Like, and I think there got to be some type of common ground between errors. Like, it's just a divide between errors where we're not like on the same page and clicking and talking to where our youth can have the same passion that like everybody.
There's nothing you could do with the passion. That's what I'm saying. We're from a different era where like we could knuckle up and knock you out and it ain't going viral, nothing like that, right? But like what can these kids really do to protect a word? And that's how you kind of like, if you crack the door, the devil gonna come in every time. And I think we crack the door on that word, like we put it in our entertainment, it's used so freely, right? And we are the cultural pushers. Like we are the cool. And we made that word such a commercialized word, and it's not. It's a word of pain. It's a really negative, nasty word, bro. Like they use that word to make to demean us, you know. And now, to watch any and everybody, and it's a topic of conversation, who can use a word that was mean to demean us. You feel me? So I just think it's something that we as a culture we open the door to. Like sometimes you do things and you don't realize the negative repercussions of it. It may hit later, and I think now a word that we was using as a endearment and empowering of each other and my nigga, like, and I don't like using the word, just giving an example. I think now we're starting to see the negative sides of something we can't control because nobody's about to go to prison. I don't suggest nobody risking their freedom for words, you
Yeah,
know.
I just think consequences come with it, and we can't control those like we like that person, whoever feel like that Mexican white person, eventually they that type of energy, he gonna be in the wrong type of room, and
Yeah.
that like naturally it'll happen. But we can't control what anybody do, and that's the like ultimately like we really don't have no control over who say what and who do what. But for every action, there's a reaction, so they got to be mindful of that. Like there's people who lose jobs, and there's
Yeah.
consequences come with it. I've seen
And I
it
don't
happen.
think I don't think it's like that anymore. And I think as like an accountability, I like to like be self accountable. Like I don't want to blame them for using no word. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is,
But
like, they
as a
can't go
culture, we
in the
made.
industry and use that word, like, or use slurs freely. Like it's just a street thing in my mind.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
what you say?
Like I don't think that's like I don't think they're gonna be able to go in any corporate or any job industry or professional industry and be able to just use that word freely.
Oh no, no, we're not talking about it in that setting. Like nobody use it in that setting. It's really like entertainment isn't like corporate, like everyday life isn't corporate. Like I said, I've been in like a random Wendy's, you see a group of white and black kids kind of hanging out together, and that word was just flying from everybody. And I'm looking around like this is normal. And it
Yeah, that's
is
crazy.
like none of them dudes felt offended. Like it was just a flowing conversation of the N word flying, and I was just like, man, no other culture you could just sit around and let that slur fly, but no other culture also doesn't use their slurs as a word of endearment in their entertainment and music. It's just self accountability a little bit of like certain things, like it can be okay and cool, but like it comes with ramifications later.
Yeah, and I think we got to do, and I say we as like the elders of educating the youth on this stuff, because I think Trey was kind of alluding to the fact nobody picked up the baton after, you figure civil rights and all this stuff. Like
Oh
folks
yeah.
really fought hard,
Yeah. Nah,
and
that was by like here's the thing. I think they they picked up the baton, but they arrested him, right? Civil rights after that you
yeah,
had
they
Black
got them
Panther
out.
Party. Yeah, they had the Black Panther Party, but and look how young them guys were, right?
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, they were
they
young.
snatched our young revolutionary dudes that was 23, 24 years old, right? Really getting it in. And when they snatched those, first of all, before I got to Black Panther, they snatched Malcolm first. Because Black Panthers is
Mm,
just Malcolm babies. That's all the Black Panthers. We're
mm,
all Malcolm babies, right? So they snatched Malcolm early. Then they snatched the Black Panther crew early. And then you started getting the neighborhood gangs like the Crips and the Bloods. And what did they do?
the
Even those dudes that were
protectors.
positive,
Mhm.
they started arresting them early. So a lot of it's systemic, bro. Like we got our men snatched away, and the men, the elders, is who passed down game. So you are right.
Mm,
Like both of y'all are right. There is some missing of game and men being around to say, nah, if that race say that around you, you need to tighten them up. Like you ain't even gotta get
mm,
violent. It's a way to, to be able to um what I call it, man. It's a way to be diplomatic on, hey, this is my race, man. Like I take that
mm,
word to offense. And I'll appreciate it if we cool that you don't use that word around me. Everything ain't gotta be blows. But teach them
mm,
some diplomacy on how to act and move, man. So you ain't gotta be crashing out by the word. But hey, listen, if you're gonna be using that dog, then we can't vibe.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
ain't
and
trying to
that's
tell
what
and,
it
you what to
is.
say, but
yep,
I ain't finna
yep,
rock with you, my boy.
yeah. And even with that, that's an opportunity to educate somebody, on
Right.
that word and what it means to us and what we went through. So, you know, simply just teenagers, young men, whoever got an ear. Look, I hear you saying that, but do you know where it originated from? Do you know why there's stigma tied to it? Just having that conversation with the young people. I think that could help some, but it's
Hmm.
it's two levels to it, man. I think it's a couple levels to it. Mainstream, Jay Z, all these people, those are the folks that's not Jay Z, but the rappers, the corporations. They said, you know what? We gonna let this word fly. We gonna put it on the airwaves. We gonna put it on every tape. And at the time, we didn't know we were self sabotaging ourselves. Because
Hmm.
that's what it was when that's all you heard. So until one of those guys, mainstream folks, come out and say, if they can boycott whatever store, whatever jeweler, whatever champagne, they can
Yeah.
do the same with words.
Yeah.
They can do that. And
Facts.
they got that impact. So until
You
they
think that's
do,
a little what like the mad scientist and the weird brain of Kanye when he wearing the swastika on his shirt. Like
so there
our
you go.
pain,
Yep.
our pain is easily commercialized and profited off of. But the moment we put
Hmm.
other people's pain and try to make
They don't
money off
want
it,
that.
now it's a problem. Like,
It's a
and everybody, oh,
problem.
he's just crazy, he's racist. No, like he's putting a prime like hypocrisy out there. Like
Hmm.
the rap industry, mainstream entertainment is largely based off our pain, and it's detrimental to our communities like big time. He just have
Definitely.
a wild way of like displaying that shit.
Yeah.
Extreme.
Speaking of streams, I'll send y'all boys a clip. It's this one influencer out. He going the extreme route of using they slurs in a real gangster way.
Oh
Bro,
wow.
that
You
boy,
got on
man,
who give us
he got a
example.
microphone and it's just like echoing throughout his whole house. You gonna you gonna say the N word? I'm gonna call you every boy. I mean, he going ham.
Wow.
I can't say what he was saying right now because we trying to uh, not say the slurs, but
Mm.
there are some people taking stances on it. But like I like one thing that kind of like stuck out to me when we started having this conversation. It was I don't know what we was talking about on a past episode, but it was something that you got really passionate about, and you like you got to stand for something.
Mm.
Um, and I think that's what is sticking out to me in this moment when we're talking about when you saying your our kids our youth has that type of influence to be like, hey, look, and be diplomatic and say, hey, look, this is how I want to move without it getting physical or getting to violence. I think we do have that same type of aura and like charisma, and people want to like naturally gravitate to us. If you want to be around us, you can't do that. And I think you just got to stand on it.
Mm,
I think
That's
that's
it right there. We got to
yeah.
gatekeep. Like if you
There
coming
you
around
go.
here, these are the rules. Like this is our culture. And I think we just like so welcoming, like I was saying, the Sauce Walker, like, yeah, we let them say it. They're not gonna let you say that about their culture. Like, stop letting everybody come around here and do what they want. No, gatekeep. Like if you want to be a part of
Mm.
hip hop community, you can't be saying that, bro. And it's the same thing. Like if you're gonna be using the words, if you're a young black brother listening to this, or if you got black children, like teach them that, bro. Like
Oh
nah, we
yeah.
all hanging out. We cool. I understand you might have made a mistake. I don't like. I ain't got to swing on you for this. But listen, if we're gonna be kicking it, I would appreciate that you don't use any slurs about my race, and I do the same with you, my brother. You know, and we can rock and keep it moving forward. Now that we got some clear understanding.
you got the last nigga out the system, right?
Yeah, yeah. All thanks to the last one, brother.
Hey,
You been
that's it.
baptized.
If you can't, like in words of who that Jay-Z, if you can't respect that, your whole perspective is whack.
It was
You know,
whack.
like
There you
hey,
go.
you can't respect that, bro. We keep moving.
I know
Mm.
you had you brought up boycotts, and it's been a lot of chitlin circuit boycotts that's going on, and the new one on deck is McDonald's.
Oh,
They boycotting the
gosh.
McRib. They got yeah, McDonald's. They done sparked up a new boycott and all types of like different accusations. And I guess one, where y'all stand with it? Like, what's your thoughts on it when you saw that like trending yesterday? It was all over the on social. It was everywhere. Boycott McDonald's. I personally, I don't. I think it's just a waste of time and trending cool headlines. But I want to hear what you brothers got to say about it.
Yeah, I'm just, and this is like not to be like I ain't racist or nothing like that, but like seeking white people's acceptance and approval is just not my bag, bro. Like we're spending a lot of money to franchise their stuff, bro. Like find a black company to franchise. You complaining about them not treating you right. Let's keep asking for the same people, the same, industries to treat us fair in business. It's not gonna happen. And it's not like trying to be racist or anything like that. It's just the truth. Like go find, you know, like-minded, fair business to go do. And it's black companies out there that can use franchising. Go
Mm.
franchise, find somebody that, if you're in the business world that may not that have a successful business, but not even franchising yet. And say, hey, how can we scale what you got going on? Like we gotta just do more business with each other. I don't think we
Mm.
do enough business with each other. We do business with them and then complain about how we're treated. Yeah, we could do that same business with each other. You can find fair black people to do business with, and that should be our agenda is, not to spend that type of energy on, hey, don't go spend money with McDonald's, but nah, find black people to go do business with. Every
Mm.
every ethnic group, every race, the real freedom is economic freedom. Until we get free economically, we're gonna keep asking people for favors and to treat us fair.
Mm.
That's real spill.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the boycott. Um, I look at it as it's 2025, and I'm trying to figure out who's still eating at McDonald's in the first
That
place,
that
man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta be honest, man. Like
I've been
how many
boycotted.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been
How many
boycotted accident.
documentaries?
Like what's going on, man?
nigga
You
died
know,
of nigga supersized me. Nigga done
yo,
died of a
I'm telling
doggone.
you, man. How many documentaries, how many news articles, how many YouTube videos they got to
Yeah.
post specifically for McDonald's? But yeah, it to me it's a waste of time. I think McDonald's is making so much profit they can probably still make gold for the quarter and have nobody eat there for like
Man,
a
McDonald's just
week
come
or
out and
two,
say the N
man.
word like OT
I'm
like
telling
OT
you.
cat. They can come out and say that and be fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Black people don't want to eat here no more. Oh, like okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
the
they'll be
new.
back next week.
We got the
So,
nigga
Out
fries
the
coming up.
McRib, man.
yeah, man.
That was the
So,
first thing my wife had said when I had brought this to her attention. She's like, People still eating up while we boycotting it. Like, yeah,
yeah.
they don't remix the damn French fry 30 times and no, and I don't know, like we need to change our diet first and foremost, man. We
Mm,
health is like and when you speak of like us changing our diet and our food habits, and like we shouldn't be trying to find like fast cheap ways to like nourish our children anyway or ourselves. Heart disease is the number one killer in our community, man. uh,
mm,
and that's tied to our diet and lifestyle. But when you bring up diet and lifestyles around the big back community, boy, it gets it's a trick it's a tricky territory.
yeah,
Yeah, man. But
yeah.
like that diet and that exercise is. I put out a tweet today on Twitter. On somebody put out a tweet saying, um, he didn't realize like until now, how much like diet, how important it was. And I said, yeah, like you are what you eat hit different, bro. Like when you get the knowledge
Mm.
of like understanding what food is, like her attitude isn't just an attitude because she just mean. She been eating Popeyes and washing it down with Pepsi. Like, get her some plants and some and a healthy diet and drink some water. Like she gonna talk a little bit different then, man. I promise you,
Hey,
bro.
360.
Hey, bro, hey,
I'm
you just
telling
you
you.
said that. Hey, you remember how they used to do the Pepsi back then? But they used to put peanuts in the Pepsi.
I just told my wife
Oh
that she looked at me
man.
crazy. I was like, "Yeah, I think it's some Geechee, South Carolina stuff." But my
Yep,
grandma
yep.
used to put peanuts in Pepsi for sure.
Yeah, man. Seen that 1,000 times. Yep.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, diet, man. And I think it's so psychological. I remember
Hmm.
one time I was reading like I want to say it, I don't think it was Dr. Sebi, it was somebody, but they said the highest form of discipline is controlling what you eat.
Hmm.
And a lot of people in America in this society, they figured out a way how to market food in a package that's just ridiculous, man. Like they tied every comfort. I mean, they tied being American to eating
Yeah.
terribly.
That's why we the
Like,
fattest country in the
But
world.
them niggas gave
yeah,
they give a little treat in a Happy
I'm,
Meal.
I'm
Oh, niggas
telling
just buy a Happy Meal just to
you,
get a toy. They'll
a
buy like 10
toy.
Happy Meals to get the dog on Monopoly. If you pull this sticker, you might get
This.
100 Big Macs.
I'm telling you, the hot dog. You ain't a baseball fan unless you eating a glizzy.
I'm
Like
not a
I'm,
baseball fan. I don't eat it.
I'm telling you,
Keep me away from that
they
game if I
fig-
gotta eat a hot dog. Who is eating? You talking about
I'm telling
McDonald's? When I see somebody eating a hot dog in 2025, like there is a lack of self love there, my
you,
brother.
yeah,
You
yeah,
don't like
like
yourself if you eating a mystery meat dog.
the
What part of
waste,
the
man,
animal is the hot dog?
the waste, the
Yeah,
parts left over. Yeah, that's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
crazy.
reason why most
Tubular meat.
religions are tied to
Mm,
food with like getting closer to God. Like
mm,
the stopping of eating gets you closer to God. And then our country finds a way to just say eat, 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 eat,
eat,
eat,
eat, eat.
tie everything with eating. So yeah, I think
Mm,
people need to like realize and pay attention to what they putting in their body and how often they eat. We overeat. Even with
mm,
the body healing itself, you gotta starve it. If you starve it a little bit fast, like it'll heal itself from a lot of things, man. But
mm,
it ain't a part of our culture like that. Like our culture, like you saying, is even with every holiday, there's usually a design culture of food that goes with the 4th of July and then Thanksgiving and
mm.
then Christmas, New Year's. Like
Christmas, yep.
everything got food tied to it, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
And it's
Back to the like this system. Oh, it beat my ass right now.
Systemic.
The
Yeah,
systemic
it's
part of it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Our neighborhoods is like food swamps with fast food and junk food. Like fast, like when you go to, they say 75% of our neighborhoods is like filled with like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, like just junk fast food, and you don't see that
mm.
in other neighborhoods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even when you think about where you can get the food, you're not gonna find Whole Foods
Oh
in
no.
in an urban neighborhood. You're
Oh,
not
oh,
gonna
we got the
find.
Negro Whole Foods in Atlanta, boy.
I'm telling you, but some of those higher end places with the better food, the kale, the spinach, they appeal to a certain demographic, and that demographic is bound by finances. If your finances, if your zip code is, up there, yeah, they're gonna have the best food. They're gonna have the things that help you live right. But like you said, our neighborhoods, our zip codes, they're not gonna they're not gonna invest the money there.
So
They
man,
don't
bro,
want
Yeah,
us eating guns.
bro, no,
yeah.
bro, cause man, bro was on the same page, like as far as where we're from and been having access to
Access, yep.
fresh groceries. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. I know you had something to
No, you
say,
good.
and I
I'm
want to
chilling,
hear
bro.
it.
I'm going with the flow, man.
No, no, I want to hear it. I value what you brothers have to this conversation. So I definitely want to hear what you had
No, you
your
straight,
input
bro.
on it.
I was listening to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm patient on the mic, bro. I just chime in. When everybody get they point across. We give everybody room to talk on it, so it ain't like we got to cut each other off or nothing. But yeah, I think I'm trying to remember what I was saying. I was trying to stall out while I try to figure out what the hell I was saying a little bit, but I think it gets back to that even with the food thing, right? Like a Whole Foods is it's expensive. You feel me? So to be real, just from a business standpoint, it doesn't make a lot of sense for them to put that expensive food in our neighborhoods. Like fast food is cheaper, like our resources. A lot of time people may not even like culturally, you're kind of cornered to making fast food your go-to meal just because you can afford $1 burger. You know what I'm saying? That shit costs $1. I got $27 in my account. I can feed all of us with $27 if I go to McDonald's. I go to Whole Foods, bro. I'm gonna walk out of there with a cabbage roll, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gonna get a whole lot. I think what we need to do as a community is make that more of an initiative. Is putting getting rid of food deserts. There's too many. Like he said, we're from a farming town, so the ability to be able to put a black grocery store in a farming town is not hard. It just take
Mm.
the willingness and the want to from the people that small town per capita is number one in the country with football players making it to the NFL. Our city per capita number one in the country. So that small town, how many millionaires you came from there that could easily put a good grocery store with good produce? It ain't that far fetched. It's just nobody cares to go do it. And putting you talking about twofold blessings. You're gonna make money because people want fresh food. They just don't know they want it until you put it there, right? Black people are gonna go buy it. It's gonna be affordable because you got local farming. So you're making profit. You're providing jobs, and also you're giving your people good food. So you're providing jobs, you're giving people food, and they're eating well. Eating well is gonna change. Like we was talking about how they treat each other. They ain't eating at Popeyes and washing it down with Pepsi. Now they ain't mad when you step on their Jordans and want to fight because good food, hydrating yourself, it affects the brain. It makes you think better when you eat
Hmm.
better. That's just facts. So it's a lot of like I think blessings that'll come from like if people, that's my dream. Like I'm in, content world and I got some other business things that we're trying to do. But when I get where I want to be in life, when it's all said and done, I want to have a chain of black grocery stores and food deserts, around the
Mm.
country.
It's gonna happen. I mean, we
Black
speak.
Publix type, you know.
I like it.
I don't know about Publix. They got KKK vibes. I think.
Yeah, I just had the black KKK vibes.
Mm.
Okay.
I
Easy.
Hey,
kid.
hey, 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 that be the uniforms. They had the Kanye fit. Yeah.
Nah, you offer them. I like the Publix model of how they get their employees share stock. Like you make them owners. There's a sense of pride when people work for Publix, because
Mm.
they own the place. When you're an employee there, you get stock and you own it. And I would take that same model. You giving the community ownership too. You feel me? It's a lot out there. I don't want to give away too much game, but that's my ultimate dream is that.
Yeah, that's a dope business model.
Yeah,
Definitely. Mm.
I think it's
Shoot, man.
dope.
I think it's around that time where we talk about music, man. What y'all boys listening to? Yeah, I do.
Mm.
When it comes to music, I think it's something that like I don't take everybody's opinions. Like I don't like some people, like I just don't even care to ask like what you listening to. But what
I,
you
might be like, so I be moody, bro. Like lately, I mean, I get in moods where I'm listening to like motivational rap. Then I'm a heavy Currency fan, so I get into that laid back. He always talking business and all that type of stuff. So that's like my office music. Is just letting Currency just work. He always talking business and
Mm.
elevation. Even some Larry June these days, just positivity. Leveling up type talk. But I've been on Babyface Ray. Like I just been in a heavy bag of the young fella Babyface Ray, bro.
Babyface.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
check it
I've
out.
heard him before. I listened to him before,
Yeah, we
but like I got in a deep
okay,
bag of it.
yeah, we had a couple tracks played on him in the past. What track you recommend? He got some new work
Man,
out.
I've been liking him like crazy on my Spotify, but he's slick with it, bro. I was introduced to him. I've seen him around on social media, but he's featured on like a lot of current. He never missed on Currency. You know what I'm saying? So like on the features he hit every time. So the algorithm led me there. And I just let it
Mm.
ride. I'm working around the house and they hit like three of them in the little algorithm I was in. I was like, hold, let me stop this and just go to straight Babyface Ray. And I let all his joints just ride. It gets, a little degenerate. I don't get into the degenerate, but he talks some business, just motivation, life stuff, like personal stuff. He got this one song where he bring his mom on and she talk about how she cut her dreams short. Like it's an intro to the song, but she talk about how she cut her dreams shorts for her kids' dreams, and to watch them be successful business people and all that, in the music, and now she can live her dreams out later on in her life. I thought that shit was dope. So I
Mm.
like artists that connect in that way. I don't just like rap music. You feel me? I like artists with stories. Just like some people like entrepreneurs like that. You want to be able to buy into, like who the person is. But let me see what Babyface Ray track I got liked on here. What you listening to, Ray? I mean, Trey. Money on My Mind is one of them. High on Life. This is his last album, the kid that did. But I think you can front and back this one. The first one, Groupies and Goofies, go crazy. It go crazy. It's real slick. You muted, Trey.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out tomorrow. But I've been listening to. I don't know if y'all heard him, man. Young boy. He kind of reminds me of like a mix of like Andre 3000 and like Lil Wayne type. Like it's just a
Yeah,
crazy,
He better be nice.
that's
Boy, you better
high
not be sending me
praise
on no
right
mix.
there.
bro. It's like a
That's high
crazy mix.
praise.
But
Boy, you
check
send me
him
on
out,
some mid,
man,
I'm gonna cuss you out, boy. If I turn this on tomorrow and he mid. You talking
bro.
about Andre
We'll,
3000.
hey, we'll talk about it on that show. But Akeem Ali, bro, Akeem Ali, check him out,
Akeem
bro.
Ali.
Hakeem
His
Ali.
young, his vernacular is just, his music is just like totally different. And I think that's what kind of drew me to him because like
Okay.
it's
Well, I like
different than
one of his
any.
songs before. Hold on. Rolling. I like one of his songs, so I've listened to him. Yeah, he's in like I just searched him on my Spotify and it comes up. I show you if you liked any of their music before. So he got a
Is
song called
Mm.
Rolling.
he on like a groovy like chill vibe and it's also like fly. It's just like I'm just like the coolest. It ain't like nothing. It's just like
He dressed like
different.
Three Stacks for sure.
It's just some different shit. Like it's just like some cool fly different shit. Like I was like, yo, this is like totally different than anything that's out right now. So it came across my feed with Chi Chi. Chi Chi. She came through. She blessed us with the hoodies, but she had posted one of his. She was at his concert. I was like, who the hell is this? But young guy out of Mississippi, and he talking. It's just different, bro.
Nah, I
Mm.
like it. I like it.
Okay, okay.
Nick Grant just
Yeah.
dropped too. I don't know if y'all like.
Oh,
I
I
know
rock with
y'all.
Nick Grant. He content.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah,
gets busy a little bit.
yeah. Nick Grant.
Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah.
What you?
I'm man, Slick Rick just dropped the album. I
Yeah.
know, I know, I know Trey was gonna laugh. I know it.
Slick
I
Rick.
knew it. I knew
Oh
it.
my
Boy, that
So,
God.
nigga had the
so
I didn't know he was
mothballs of
alive.
listen,
the.
Like,
listen.
congrats. I didn't know he was
So
alive, like for real. Like,
yeah,
I'm glad
this
the album's
cat
still
is
moving.
60 years old, man.
I thought he
So
was out of here.
I
You
this
thought he was
you
this
broke
was
dead,
news
baby.
to me, bro. Like,
a first album I ever bought in my life was The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. This is years ago, man. and fell in love with the album. And he actually made a movie with the album called Victory. So it's a visual
Okay.
movie. Every song, and Idris Elba,
You might want to
the
show him a
actor.
matinee because he's 60. So
Yeah, it ain't that long. Yep, about 30 minutes. But yeah, Idris Elba was the executive producer,
oh
and
word. That's crazy.
yeah. So they work together, man. I mean, action, club scene, you name it, man. It's a nice
60 years
30-minute
old with a
vibe.
club scene is wild.
Yeah. He pushing the boundaries. Let me tell you. But
How's the album though? Like
the
what's
album
major?
it's cool if you ever listen to him, man. Some of his older stuff, it's real nostalgic. He was the original storyteller, man. I don't know if
Right.
y'all familiar with a children's
Oh yeah, for sure.
story,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
he revisit that, man. I don't know his formula, but he repackaged it and he kind of pushed it out, and it's to me it sounds good. I like it. He got a joint with Nas on there called Documents.
Oh, I gotta check it then.
Yeah, love it, man. Nas, he doing his thing, but yeah, the whole album is dope. But Documents and The Landlord, that's the other song
Mm-hmm.
where he's kind of going telling a story about somebody paying the rent, and this guy is so descriptive in his
Yeah.
stories, man. Like
I'm
I'm
always want
like,
to hear
man,
Nas on the same track. That's got to be
oh yeah,
a masterpiece type. If you're a
yeah.
rapper, like you gotta
If
go.
yeah, if you appreciate the art form, if you
Yeah.
like the artistry of it, man,
You
it's
weird like
dope.
us.
Yeah.
You heard Guru was on the clip of that went viral a little bit on Twitter saying that Jay-Z back in the lab.
Oh, he
Ooh,
got
I
to. He
saw
got to
that.
be. Yeah, he got to be back in that.
Saw
But
that.
did the case almost over.
Nah, I like forget all that. Like I'm a like that was that's our era. So
Mm.
seeing like Nas be so active these last few years,
Woo.
this entire time, I'm just like Jay, you gotta like you
Yeah.
gotta finish this discography off strong because
Yeah.
Nas is spitting.
Man, we were
Yeah.
just
Nas
talking
ain't
Nah.
playing.
bro. Hey,
Yeah.
we were just talking about. Hey, bro, he coming to. He got he on an orchestra run right now.
Oh
I might try
yeah.
the Jeezy one. Jeezy's going down here in about 2 weeks and down at Miami. I might try to. I just don't feel like renting a tuxedo because you gotta go. They going fly as hell, and I can't go
Yeah.
regular in a
I
polo.
saw Jeezy.
Oh damn, he got to go in a
Yeah.
tuxedo.
They are
Yeah.
I ain't
going.
know.
They getting suited and booted, and I don't want to get caught out here looking Reginald at the Jeezy orchestra in jeans and some New Balances.
Mm.
Damn,
If that's how I was
Yeah.
about to go.
I gotta revamp my plan.
Yeah, but a lot of them, the older folks, is still spit, man. A lot of the elders still relevant. So I heard Jay-Z was gonna headline the Super Bowl next year,
He might need to.
That's why he
possibly,
in the lab. That's exactly why
possibly.
he in the lab.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said, "Hey man,
Yeah.
y'all brought all that extra black shit with Kendrick. You got to come make things right, Jay."
Balance it out, man. Balance it out.
You never know what to expect for them. Man, they give us some bourgeois power, black power. They good for that. Him and Beyonce,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
giving us
She's on tour right
Hollywood
now
black
too.
power. Huh?
She's on tour right now too, right? Beyonce.
No, I don't think so.
Mm,
Yeah.
And be on
yeah, I
tour, man. The
saw.
whole world know it.
If she on tour, no, the whole world talking about it because they can't afford the tickets.
Oh, the Renaissance. I don't want to see
Mm,
none of the country stuff. You're right. I think that is going on.
yeah,
They
I
ain't
think
really
they
my
was in
bag.
Paris or something.
I
Yeah.
seen Jay was listening to some crazy Indian beat or something. You remember that?
Yeah.
Hey, what y'all
Yeah.
boys think about
Looked like he was doing some mad scientist, no pen, putting together some clean.
how y'all feel about
Oh.
Pusha T about to drop this song with
Oh
He
yeah, they on
cloud
the
chasing,
run.
man. He cloud
They,
chasing his like
nah, they on
get out of here.
the run.
That Pusha T
They
is
on the
wild.
run. They
He
on the
on the run, but
run.
he is chatty patty on this run.
Yeah, he is. He is. Yeah. He
But
doing a
I
lot.
never seen
He
a
doing a
drug dealer
lot.
talk this much, bro. Like I'm like, come on,
Yeah.
brother. What happened to keeping
Yeah.
secrets?
Yeah.
they don't leak this joint though.
Huh?
They linked his single. They
Oh
leaked the
yeah, a
single.
couple of them.
He wasn't able to put the one out with Kendrick though, right? I
Yeah,
don't
he
think it's
was.
something clear. He was.
Yeah, it's on the album. It's on the
Oh,
new album coming out. Yeah. Yeah, I think. Actually, they was playing a snippet of it on
That's what
Power
I seen the
105
snippet.
or something.
Yeah, it going
Yeah.
Kendrick going crazy on that joint.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he talking. He talking that.
this about to
Heavy.
be the summer. This about to be the summer banger right here. That's why they
Yeah.
kicked him off. He
It's
had
Drake can't like escape it, bro. Like I thought he was gonna get some momentum this summer, and then Pusha T come out with a Kendrick feature, and then all this energy. Like Pusha T has figured out how to like his Kanye stuff has got me just like I know Kanye is pacing in his mansion going nuts right now because he can't
Yeah.
really reply and son Pusha how he do a lot of other people.
Nah.
He
Yeah,
too
Pusha
Pusha
was
too
in his
thorough.
inner circle. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in his inner circle. Yeah,
Yeah. He can't.
he
you
said
gotta
Uh,
he
leave
ain't
that
got
one
rid of him
alone.
because he know Pusha don't respect him. He said he know I don't respect him.
yeah, he's talking crazy to Kanye. Man. I said, dang.
Heavy.
Mm-mm.
That boy moved with a different cloth. Whatever. Like, I'm
Man.
excited. I hope it's something different than just like
Oh, it's
the
about dope.
youth. Yeah, I hope it's something different. But I think
It's
he.
drug dealer music.
yeah.
Man, that shit.
He gonna
That music.
story tell with it. Like I don't really like get mad at like the crime based music if it's creative and it's storytelling. Like I rock with like Benny the Butcher and all them Griselda boys. Like why they talk about it, but it ain't just murder, murder, kill, kill. Like
Mm.
it, a lot of it's based around like principles and you not believe in street principles, but a lot of it's based around principles and street code and then the storytelling and creativity involved. But that drill music is where like I don't really rock with it because it's just murder, murder, kill, kill. So it's a
Yeah.
different level. So I like Pusha's music. I said all that to say this. I like Pusha, even though he tell drug dealer stories, bro. They be descriptive.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like watching a movie.
He mastered it, man.
He did. He did. Yeah. I like him. I like him. He's like a upper echelon drug dealer rapper.
Yeah,
Always high fashion drug
yeah.
deal.
You got that lane.
And
It's him. It's Ross. It's Jay
Ross.
Z.
Yeah.
Jeezy's
Yeah.
in that lane as well. You listen
hmm
to Bodie James?
Yeah. Yeah. I heard that he did one with the Alchemist. I was listening to the
Yeah,
other
he got a
day.
couple with Alk, man. Like
Yeah.
Bodie don't drop the album every month this year. Like I think to me, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
real with
He
you,
might
like
be a Mets
just
fan.
bar for bar, he's so monotone, so it's hard to get through. But if you go bar for
hmm
bar and you get into that world, I don't think as many people out rapping Bodie James, bro. I think he's like top two and three
Yeah.
right now doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was spitting. I remember hearing that album he did with Alchemist, one of them, and I was like, man, yeah,
yeah, he go
yeah,
crazy. He did one of this other dude, Nicholas Craven. I think that's the best producer he worked with, but like he got some absolute gems. He dropped, like I said, an album every month this year, like on a currency
uh,
type run. And when you can rap like that and I'm turning it on, it's hard to keep up with because you like to learn your favorite rappers like music, and you don't even really
mm,
got enough time to process it with him because they just dropping, dropping, dropping. But
back to
you
back.
learn out real fast, like bro, this is it's like Wayne's effortless, and dudes rap
Mm,
like that, bro. Like there's I see why he putting them out every month. It's too easy.
yeah, mm.
Let's get
All
up out
right.
of here though, man. We've been
Yeah,
the music
it's
talk
time.
went
It's
longer
time
than
to
I
rock and
thought we
roll.
would.
What's
So,
the
well,
call
let's
to
do it.
action? What's the closing closing lines? What y'all boys got? Y'all want to lead the people with before we get out of here?
Well, being new here, first I want to just say I appreciate you guys for letting me come through and contribute, man, and everything y'all doing. I salute the podcast, the vision, the businesses. I've been watching y'all for a while, man, and it's an honor to be here. And my thing for the people would probably be don't be afraid to be great.
Mm.
Don't be afraid to be great, no matter what.
Mm, mm.
Mhm.
That's the thing. People do be afraid to be great.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
You
yeah,
got all the potential in the world, dog. They just
all of it. Hey, chat GPT in your pocket. Yeah,
Them
you
homies,
scared.
man.
What?
Yeah, you got
They
all that
use
doggone
they use
assets
the
in the
memes
land.
and funny pictures, bro. You can make some things happen with a
Oh
chat
yeah.
GPT, my brother.
I seen somebody using Chat GPT to find the best strip clubs. I like, boy, you just walking around aimlessly, just don't even know what you're doing with all that information.
Yeah,
Mm,
me, man, it's just just focus on improvement, getting better. I know we talk about some health, and a lot of different things on here, just in every aspect, man. The way you speak, the way you talk, the way you eat, the way you treat the people around you, everything could be improved, man. So self-reflect, improve, 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 evolve. That's why we here. You heard?
mm,
No, I
mm,
love it. Um, I guess my message would be like our time here is like limited, right? And we got to choose how we spend it. And you can choose it to. It's so much good in life, bro. And that's why I started to show out with God is good because I think with everything that's going on in this world, you get so like distracted with the negative, the negative, and you not don't pay like any attention to all the good in your life, and just like have some gratitude and grace, and like hone in on the good that you got in your life, and just build on that. And I think that's what we got to do, and like build on our communities. Don't like hell, man. Like this shit can burn out, bro. I'm just focused on the people who I can build with, and I'm gonna build with. I ain't got nothing like that outside noise can just be outside. That's where I'm at with it. But I love you, brothers, man, and I'm gonna continue to build as much as I can. I know we had this thing where we always say, "Let's build together."
mm.
Dre, and you two brothers,
Yes,
man. When it
sir.
comes to the first thing that came to my mind with you guys, having you guys on the show was like, all right, when I left off to go to the service, like I gravitated to Dre because he kind of like it was just some about you two kind of reminds me of brotherhood when it comes to like storytelling, banter, just like being that confident, charisma, being like on like a boss. And I just want to kind of keep my circle tight with people who are built that way. And I think that's what everybody got to like find these moments when the world is collapsing, just find people around you who's gonna build you up, and that's what it is, and that's where I'm at with it. It's Coach Uncut podcast, bro. I love you, brothers.
Love you, bro.
Love.